You won't be working with Notion for long before you want to create views with multiple columns. In this video, I'm showing you exactly how to create as many columns as you like and dropping relevant information into those columns and showing, in this particular case, I'm showing you how I plan my week using multiple columns, one for each day of the week with key bits of info in those columns that I want to have. So I can plan everything I need, my lessons and my actions outside, and anything else I want to drop into those columns from around my Notion workspace. It's all in this video, so make sure you watch right to the very end and you'll catch how I create those columns and I drop the info in a way that it automatically updates, and my weekly planning of my lessons and my actions is as smooth as you could like. Welcome to Notion for Teachers. I'm Andrew. Hit subscribe and the bell icon and you'll be notified when I'm dropping new videos every single week. It's my pleasure to serve you and I hope it's useful. So let's jump into Notion right now and I'll show you exactly how to create those columns in a way that just is so easy and is so quick to get done. Okay, so we're looking here at my planning my week dashboard, which brings in a whole bunch of cool stuff from Notion into one view that we can use to plan that week, plan the lessons that we're teaching, and also the any actions we've got to do between those lessons or maybe during the lessons. The key thing about this particular view is that it uses multiple columns, and I have struggled for quite a while with getting these columns to work. So I'm going to show you first of all just how I do the bit with the columns. Okay, and then we'll come back in to showing how we then drop in the relevant views of the different databases. So just to show you the columns, first of all, I'm going to create a new page. Okay, over the right, embed a sub page in here, and this is just a brand new page. It could be anywhere in your Notion workspace. I've dropped it in here. I've created a new page. I'm going to go up and what I normally do is make these views full width straight off the bat. Okay, and we could call this whatever you want to call it, planning my week. Okay, and here to get these multiple views, it's very, very straightforward, but once you know how to do it. Okay, believe it or not, we're going to use callouts. Now, I don't often use callouts in my workspace, and actually they're not going to stay on this page, but we're going to use them as a device by which to build the different columns. So we'll jump in here, callout, and that's your callout bar. And in theory, that's designed that we could call out where we could type something in there and that would make it stand out on the page, and it is useful sometimes, but I just don't use them that much. But so straight away we're going to duplicate that for the number of columns that we want to have on the page. So we notice that there's a shortcut there, Control D, so I'm just typing Control D on my keyboard, and that's created multiple columns. And maybe there, for example, if we want to build our timetable onto this particular view with all the multiple columns, we'll have 6 views, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then a different column for the weekend, so we can see everything on one page. Okay, so maybe I've done 1 or 2 columns too many there, but that's fine. So all I'm going to do there, I've duplicated my callouts. So I'm going to jump down here, grab the 6 dots that you can see on the screen, and I'm going to drag that up to the right hand side. We're all looking for this vertical blue bar. Vertical blue bar displayed at the far right hand side of my screen, just to the right of the top callout. Okay, I'll drop that. There's just created the second column. Do the same with the next callout down, create a third column, fourth, fifth. And if you teach Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, you maybe want one with the weekend. I'll drag the last 2. I'll bin those off using the delete key on my keyboard. Right, so we've got this we've now created 6 columns on the page, but what do we maybe want to put underneath them? Well, I really, really like toggles on my page. I really, really like toggles on my workspace, so I can hide stuff and then view it again very, very quickly. So over at the right-hand side, underneath the far right-hand callout, I'm going to click, give myself a little cursor. I'm going to put / toggle. I'm going to jump down there. We could do a straightforward toggle list, but I like the toggle headings. It just makes the title of that toggle stand out. Toggle heading number 3 makes it stand out, but it's not massive. Okay, and there we have it. We have a toggle which sits underneath that particular callout in the 6th column at the moment. I can drag that toggle to sit underneath any of those callout bars. Okay. So that will become my Monday toggle, my Monday column. But I will first of all then duplicate that toggle. I'll do that. So I've got 6 of them, 1 for each of the 5 days plus the weekend. And then I can edit those Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and we'll do the last one just as a one block for the weekend. Okay, and then we'll drag those up and drop them underneath the relevant call out. Okay, these call outs which I've still got on the screen, I'm not going to have them on my finished view, but they are there. They're crucial to help us in building this page. So there we have it. We have our 6 columns, one for each of the days of the week plus the weekend. And at this stage now, what we can do is delete those call outs. So I've just dragged a box through the 6 call outs, and I'll just hit delete on my keyboard. Gone. But the columns with the toggles where we want them still in place. Super. So another thing I like to do is to allocate a different color just for aesthetics on my page. Use colors just to mark the different areas. I tend to go with colors as a rainbow. So Monday, red, Tuesday, and I'll go for backgrounds as background colors rather than the color of the text in the word, which is red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and indigo, or purple is the available color in Notion. All right. Another very quick one, we can obviously add a cover. You could add your own cover. Maybe you might want to insert your timetable, but I'm just going to jump in for now for this purpose. I'll jump in and just drop any image of a class. It really doesn't matter at this stage. Okay, quick reposition of that. Okay, save position, and you could drop in a little icon there, both of which I've done separate videos showing you how you can make a perfectly bespoke cover image or icon of your own to be whatever you want. I'll link to those separate videos at the top right of my screen at this point. So that link will appear. Go and click on those maybe at the end if you want to. But we're building this planning my week page now. So we've got these different columns with toggles at the top so we can hide and view what the detail in that column depending on the day. So the first thing I want to have here is the relevant lessons for that day of the week. So what I'm going to do is underneath the Monday toggle, I'll do my /, I'll do my type table, and I'm going to come down to database, add a table view for a new or existing database, okay? And I'm going to link to, I want a view of my period by period planner. Now, a period by period planner, I've done a full video on it separately, so I'm not going to go into too much of the detail of it now, apart from just to show you the particular columns that I want to view in this view of that particular database. So there is that database, massive database, different row in that database for every single period in the school year. Thousands, a couple of thousands of rows in that database. But actually, I don't want to view anything like that many. Really, what I want to view here is the next Monday's worth of lessons. Okay, I want to view the next Monday in this column, the next Tuesday, the next Wednesday. So you see now how I've dropped that particular a view of that particular existing database into that Monday column. So what I'm going to do now is jump across to the dashboard that I've already partially created, okay, just to show you what the settings I use. You don't need to sit and watch me drop that database in multiple times. So my source is my period by period planner for this particular database. My properties that I want to show in this view. Okay, so I've hidden them all. First of all, I'll hide them all, and then I'll jump back in and I'll show the property that I have, which is just that period number. So period 1 starts at 8:45, period 2 starts at 9:45, period 3, 11:10, and so on. And that's what our school calls those periods. You could have that column in your period by period planner to suit whatever your school names them, and maybe the start times, quite nice to have the start times in there because they vary sort of during the day. Other properties that we're going to view in there, we're going to link to the class. Obviously we want to know what class we're teaching. And the beautiful thing there obviously is that within that I can then click to go in and actually view that particular class's data and everything relating to that class from this particular view on my weekly planner. I want to know what subtopic I'm teaching. So that's the third one, subtopic. And the fourth one, there's always this main detail or like title of that row, and you always have to have that viewed in any view of any database. So I'll just move that down to the very bottom. I don't want that to be displayed in this table, so I'll just move it on this properties view, just slide that one down to the bottom. So I'm never actually going to look at that main detail property in this view, but it is there. Okay, and then the filters. So that's the properties that we're going to view, and then we want to jump in and do the filters. We've got one filter, but it involves two different settings. So the first setting is using the formula for the day, which in my period by period planner tells me what day of the week that particular lesson is, okay? And I want that to be set to be, well, the day has to be Monday, and the full date, another property within the period by period planner, has to be within, so it has to be Monday, and it has to be within, now normally during the normal working year, I would have this as the next week. The reason I've got it set as the past week for this particular video is that next week we're on school holidays. So there's no lessons next week in my period by period planner. So I've simply set that to show me last week's Monday when we did have lessons, just so that we can see some actual classes in there. We were reviewing the exam paper, hence there's no topic set, but we could very easily throw in a few topics there, just so we can see if we were planning the next week's lessons, we could be jumping in there and we'd just be dropping in topics against those lessons there, as you can see. And you can search for any topic, quadratic, and that'll just show me all the quadratic topics. Again, pulling in, this particular property of the period by period planner is a relation to the topics database, where I can then pull in these topics from the topics database. Okay. Also in this view, I have a view of my action items. So I've linked to a view of my action items database, and this one, a few things. So in this one, we're viewing the properties, we're viewing the action item and the day on which the action item is, the day on which the due date for that action item is set, okay? And I want to view everything that's on next Monday. So I'm going to set a filter for that. And the filter is that it has to be on or before 1 week from now. The day has to contain the Monday, and the done can't be done yet. So done is not ticked. So that'll show me everything that I have planned to get done next Monday, whenever that next Monday is. So this will update automatically through the year. So we have that view of the database, and I can jump in here and just to show you how I duplicate that view, copy link to view, and I would jump up here and say, right, add a block below the timetable for Tuesday. There, it's created a new block. I will paste the link from Monday's action items, create a link view of database, and I will change that filter that we've currently got set. We're gonna go and change the source is fine. We want that to be source be action items. We want it to be table view. That's cool. I don't actually want to see the database title in that view. We're going to set properties. We talked about hiding all those properties. We do want to see if we're going to take it done. So that's fine. And that's probably it for that one. That's cool. And the other filters that we're going to say is that due date is on or before 1 week from now. Okay, cool. So that's everything that's on or before 1 week from now. But we also want to set it that it only shows us stuff that's happening on a Tuesday. So go to my formula property for day, contains Tuesday, hit enter. And that's not quite worked. Maybe see, let's go back up into formula, see what's happened. Ah. We need to change, it needs to be a filter group. So done is not checked. There. So due date is on or before 1 week from now, and done is not checked, and day contains Tuesday. I'll be surprised if there's anything that actually satisfies. There we are. Okay. So there is, we will delete. So what we need to do is create a filter group where the due date is on or before 1 week from now, the done is not ticked, and the day contains Tuesday for that. We only have to set this up once, and then it will automatically pull in this data every single week. Just on the Monday, I'll just hide layout. I don't want to show the database title, so I'll bin that off. And that works. Just make it a little bit more compact, a little tidier. Okay, so that's Monday, Tuesday. That currently says Tuesday, but actually I know that that filter is actually set to be contains Wednesday, so that is Wednesday. I would delete this, and then look, I would just be populating Thursday and Friday with a view of the period by period planner. Okay, and I would be for Saturday or for the weekend, I'm more interested just in the things I've got to do. So I'd create a duplicate a view of the action items tracker, drop it into the weekend, and set the filters to show me everything that's on Saturday or Sunday in the next week, so that then I have that view of everything that's got coming up this particular weekend. Okay, and look, you can drop anything, any other blocks from around your Notion workspace, you can drop them into these toggle blocks and view only the stuff that you want to view on that particular day. Say it's Tuesday, I want to focus on my Tuesday. I'm going to come in here like this. I'm going to hide or make Tuesday a bit bigger and have that key info that I want to display, my timetable, the key things I've got planned to do on the Tuesday. I can then, when it gets to Wednesday or I'm Tuesday afternoon, I'm thinking, right, what's happening on Wednesday? I can come in here. I've got my timetable for Wednesday all viewed there with my topics that I'm teaching, and I kind of dropped in my action items database, a view of that below my timetable for Wednesday. And this is really just using all the amazing functionality of Notion to just absolutely crush our weeks here in terms of planning it. We build this dashboard once, it automatically updates to show us what's happening next Thursday, what's happening next Friday, what lessons am I teaching, what topics am I teaching, what classes have I got, and what actions do I need to complete both in and out of lessons, depending on how you've set up your action items database. I hope that was super useful. Creating those columns does allow us to do so much more with our workspace, and it's just not immediately obvious how it works. So I hope that video explained it nicely and showed you how you can put it into practice in a way that just makes your weekly planning so much easier. You've been watching Notion for Teachers. Please, please, please hit subscribe and the bell icon, and you'll be notified when I'm dropping new videos every single week. Any questions in the comments, fire them into the comments, or on Twitter or on Facebook. I'm here to serve you. I want to maximize your efficiency of planning and your efficiency of your workspace so it serves you rather than you working for the technology. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again next week.